Well, shit. How's it going, Guardians? My name is Voltali, or just Volt if you prefer. In this video, I'm going to be going over the D.A.R.C.I damage numbers once again, this time comparing it to Linears as well as Whisper of the Worm and Lord of Wolves to see what's the most damage you can get this season. Before we begin, I need to mention a few things. All tests, unless stated otherwise, only used a Well of Radiance and Lunafaction boots. No buffs were applied, and it's also worth mentioning that due to a bug, surges were enabled for arc and strand weapons, which includes Euphony. So we start off with Euphony. I don't have it, so I had to get my friend Zorp here to do the test for me. Zorp did two tests, one with a standard Euphony rotation, with particle reconstruction, and one with just Euphony on its own. The full rotation did 5.7 million damage, while the rotation of just Euphony on its own was only a couple 100,000 below that. Unfortunately, I'm a bit of an idiot and I forgot to click record for that one, so you'll have to take my word for it. Next up was D.A.R.C.I. Now, previously I gave D.A.R.C.I a pretty scathing review, but I wanted to give it another chance and see if maybe I was doing testing wrong. So, let's see what it could do. On its own, D.A.R.C.I got 2.23 million damage. We then followed up with D.A.R.C.I and a Praedyth's Revenge that had Rewind and Elemental Honing. Keep in mind that the damage will be slightly inflated due to the nature of proccing Elemental Honing. My D.A.R.C.I here was pretty scuffed, however Zorp with Praedyth's Revenge did an impressive 2.4 mil. That's really good for a legendary weapon. Next up were the Linears, and first was Cataclysmic. To proc Bait and Switch, I used a Traveler's Chosen and tried to get the least amount of damage possible out of those weapons so I could show off Cataclysmic and only Cataclysmic. I finished with 2.515 million damage. For Void, I opted to use Doomed Partitioner with Reconstruction and Precision Instrument. It was incredibly underwhelming for a heavy weapon, only getting 2.201 million damage. Next up was Briar's Contempt, with Enhanced Surrounded Rewind rounds. I was not taking advantage of the Origin trait here as well, so if you're using the Origin trait, you could potentially get even more damage out of Briar's. This got a total of 2.628 million. Next, going back to exotics, we had Whisper, which walked away with a very impressive 3.291 million across all reserves. The new kill on the block, Queenbreaker, was next with its shiny new catalyst, and it walked out with a very impressive 4 mil, beating the previous king, Whisper of the Worm. Meanwhile, Lord of Wolves, to no one's surprise, stole the show with nearly 5 million damage. So, what does this all mean? Well, if you're a Warlock and you're going to be using the artifact to the fullest, I think Euphony is definitely the play. If you're not a Warlock and the engagement is long range, I think Queenbreaker is definitely a shout. 4 mil is nothing to complain about. And if you're in a close range engagement, I think Lord of Wolves is still very, very solid. And the great thing about Lord of Wolves is it does better the more people are using it, because of how Scorch works. So I think the takeaway is this. If you're in a long range engagement and you're not a Warlock, Queenbreaker. If you are a Warlock, Euphony, and anything else close range, Lord of Wolves is the play. It really is that easy, you know. You know. Oh god, never try and make a joke like that ever again, Tal. Please. So I hope that information was useful, and I hope that might influence your builds going into the Day 1 dungeon, which is tomorrow, by the way. Very excited about that. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Your engagement, viewership is always greatly, greatly appreciated. If you want to support me, you can do so really easily just by clicking that like and subscribe button down below. Leave a comment, share the video with friends. All of that really, really helps. If you want to keep up with me and see what I'm up to, by all means, follow my Twitter and other socials. The Linktree link for that is all down below. And if you're looking to join a community of like-minded Guardians ready to do some endgame content, feel free to join our new clan Discord. The link will also be in the description. And if you're not planning on running the Day 1 dungeon, but you want to watch someone run it, then why not watch me? I'll be streaming over at twitch.tv/itsvoltali right when the dungeon drops, so why not come over, say hi, see how we're getting on. It would really mean a lot. Again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you all starside. Bye for now, Guardians.